Hey, bro, hit my intro.
What's happening, my visionaries? It's your man, J Rock. Back in effect, I'm live and direct, and I'm coming at your neck with yet another video, baby. What's happening, my visionaries, man? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy J Rob, man. Back up in the same indeed. Yes, another video, man. Yes, sir. Thank you all for being patient with me throughout my most imminent return. I have a plethora of hiatuses that I go through, but I've had a lot of recent life changes that I will divulge, perhaps maybe divulge at a later time. I'm not one for discussing my private life on the internet. I try to keep those things private, but there have been a multitude of life changes that have occurred in my life, so that have not allowed me to create the way that I would like to, but I'm back. Thank you everyone for once again your patience and your continuous support throughout my hiatus and my drought. First video I'd like to get into though is this video. I want to check out this song by Aldean. It's called Try That in a Small Town. And this song is right now is mired in controversy. It's mired in controversy. Got a lot of controversy surrounding it, shrouding it. And I as someone who I would like to believe to myself to be somewhat of an objective individual as it pertains to other people's biases or perceptions. I like to really have my own individual perception. I like to take my own time and really sort of insert my own opinion regarding a particular issue that may be drawing some controversy and see if it's really worth all the controversy that it's receiving. Usually it's not. Usually it's sensationalized. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So we're going to check this out. Aldean, Try That in a Small Town. We're going to see what all the controversy is about. We're going to do an analysis. So I hope you guys enjoy. So without further ado, let me put on my headphones of truth. Bam, and we're going to do what it do. Aldean, Try That in a Small Town. Let's do it. So far, I like the rhythm guitar, the acoustic, and the lead riff.
Sucker punch somebody on the sidewalk, carjacking old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool, act a fool if you like. Cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think it's tough. Try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care
I like the bass.
of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town. That my granddad gave me. They say one day they're gonna round up. Well, that shit might fly in the city. Good luck, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town
farmers are dropping their own crops for the day. A friend is in need, and they've come to help.
It's what this community and a lot of our communities stand for. Somebody needs some help, you'll get it.
I like the tone on this lead guitar. Good tone on that guitar. So that was it. That was the song that was mired in so much controversy. That was a song that had people outraged and incensed and completely flabbergasted, completely just uncouth. I mean, I really don't see the controversy within this song. To me, it's obviously a political statement that's being made through this song, but more of a humanity issue. It's very simplistic song structure. It's not anything that's convoluted or complicated. It doesn't need to be. It has a simple message that it wants to convey and express, and it does that very clearly and very concisely with a lot of lucidity. The lyrics to me don't really, because I saw a lot of people that were, you know how people are. They, as soon as anything doesn't agree with what their political ideologies align with or their affiliations, it immediately is perceived as being controversial. And really, to me, it's more of a logical, sensible humanity issue. I never agreed with everybody has their right as an American citizen to protest peacefully. I've always said that that's fine. Do so if you like. I don't agree with it necessarily. I may not agree with what you're protesting about, but I agree with your ability to do so. And that has always been my sentiment. But I don't agree with the rioting, the looting, especially the rioting and looting of small businesses, because these are individuals that are within our own communities that did something that's very arduous to do. That's to have a small business. If anybody knows how arduous and difficult that is, then you would understand the severity and you would understand the significance behind not destroying that. And from the lyrics that I gather from here, and we're just going to take a quick look for a second. So we're just going to take a quick look at these lyrics and see if there's anything controversial within the lyrics after taking a closer. If there's anything in these lyrics after taking another closer view into them and seeing if there's anything that I would perceive as being controversial, anything that would strike me as being anything that was ethnocentric or quote unquote racist, which that word is being so loosely thrown around that I doubt people truly know the definition of it, the true definition, the true meaning. But let's see. Sucker punch somebody on the sidewalk, carjack an old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool? Well, act a fool if you like. So nothing controversial about this first verse. I mean, it's pretty just simple humanistic issues. All those things that are presented are actions of egregious lawlessness and depravity, and those are things that are not right. And I think anybody that is being sensible will read this and say that those things that were transpiring at that particular time during these riots and those actions are not just. Those actions are not correct. Sucker punching somebody on the sidewalk is not a correct action. It's a cowardly action. It exudes cowardice. Carjacking an old lady at a red light, cowardice. Pulling a gun on a liquor store owner, cowardice. So all these things of this criminality is cowardice, and that to me seems to be the point that he's making. Cuss out a cop, spit in his face, and sorry, that's not just the first verse. This is still the first verse. Cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag, and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough. Again, the clear, concise message here. Obviously, simplistic song structure, lyrical structure. There's not really much left to the imagination. There's not much left to interpret. It's very direct. It makes a very terse statement, which is not really terse at all. Cussing out a cop, spitting in his face. I respect all law enforcement. They have a very, very difficult, arduous job to do. I would advocate that someone watch this YouTube channel called, I think it's called, hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna find the name of that channel. Yeah, it's called Police Activity. So what it is, it's a channel completely biased. There's no political statement that's not politicized at all, but it's completely biased. It's body cam footage that is available to everyone, because as you know, officers have to wear body cams and their footage has to be available to everyone. Freedom of information. So you see how very tense, how each infinitesimal detail can really affect a person. If you're a police, if you're in law enforcement, if you're a police officer, how each detail is integral to saving your life or perhaps the life of someone else. And so it's a very stressful, stress-inducing job, and I really commend those individuals for doing those. And yes, you have those outliers nonetheless, of those individuals who use their badge as to be tyrannical and despotic, but that's really the exception and not really the norm. And I think most people know that if they were being honest and genuine. But most people aren't being sanguine or genuine at all. They're coming from a place of sensationalized statistics that don't really depict the issue. So this says stumble on the flag and light it up. Look, I'm not the most patriotic individual. I'm really not. But I think it's okay. I think if it's okay for every other country to be nationalistic, if you will, to be a nationalist, if you will, to be patriotic, to care about their country, then what's wrong with an American caring about their country? Why is it only justified when it's someone of foreign descent or someone that's from a foreign country who can exercise their patriotism? I think it's fine. I'm not necessarily a proponent or one that is going to be patriotic, but I think it's perfectly fine if people want to say that they believe in that stuff, those, that sort of nationalism, then what have you, if it's not all right to degrade someone else's nationality or their culture, then why would it be okay to degrade someone else's culture predicated on what particular nationality or culture that they reside in? So if you're gonna be an advocate of one, you have to be an advocate of all. Otherwise, it's hypocrisy. Then the chorus, tried it in a small town, see how far you make it down the road. Around here, we take care of our own. You cross the line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't try that in a small town. Again, clear, concise message. He's just stating that if you try that in a town, in a very tight-knit community, and I saw people trying to say that he was using as racist ideology, but notice that not at one time did he specify what a race that he was referring to. And again, I think people are just simply merely grasping for straws in the dark here, searching for controversy where it doesn't exist. I'm from the South. Yes, there are a lot of places in the South that have tight-knit communities, irrespective of race, that if you come and try to destroy their property or try to infiltrate their communities with violence and incite violence, then yes, there's going to be a retaliation. It's completely retaliatory and it's completely justified in that regard, in my opinion. Then second verse, got a gun that my granddaddy gave me. They say one day they're going to round up. Well, that shit might fly in the city. Good luck. Again, someone who exercises their Second Amendment right, don't think there's anything wrong. If you exercise your Second Amendment right, that's completely your constitutional right to. And a lot of people are under this perception, under this belief that, one day the government is going to try to round up everyone's guns, and it's happening in major metropolitan cities around the country. And he's saying that don't try that here. I've heard many. This is an ideology that's prevalent in the South, and it's even prevalent within myself to a degree. I maybe not this extreme about it, but yeah, if you try to take away these good old boys' guns, and we're going to address that good old boy colloquialism later, then you're going to get retaliation because these guys, some of these guys, their heritage is in this. He stated that my granddaddy gave me a gun. That gun has been passed through generations. You're not going to take it without retaliation. That's a common prevalent ideology that's prevalent within most Southern and pro-gun states, right? Then it goes back to the course. Try it in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here, we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try it in a small town. There's a third verse. Full of good old boys raised up right. Now, good old boys is probably what received a lot of the controversy. Good old boys is a Southern term. It's a Southern colloquialism used to describe country folk. It's not anything interspersed. It has no kind of connotations of racism whatsoever. I'm from the South. I've heard white people say good old boys referring to country folk, country bumpkins, country folks, good old boys and girls. It has nothing to do with race. It has absolutely nothing to do with race, because when I've heard people refer to somebody as a good old boy, they're talking about a good old boy, a country boy, That's it. It's that simple. Anybody that's from the South knows that. If you're not from the South, you probably never heard that term. But me being from the South, I hear that term constantly. I've heard that term so much. Good old boy, good old girl. He's a good old boy. She's a good old girl. It's not anything racist. It's not anything ethnocentric behind it. It's not shrouded in any kind of racism or has no racist connotations. It's literally just a Southern term, a Southern colloquialism, just like every other place has a specific dialect, that they have specific slang, ebonics, particular colloquialism, particular words that they use. It's no different in the South. That's a Southern term. It's not anything racially motivated or ethnocentrically motivated. There's no ethnocentrism within that statement. So I just wanted to clarify that. If you're looking for a fight, try that in a small town. Try it in a small town. So it's making this. It's reiterating this point of try it in a small town. Try it in a if you try these lawless, egregious, depraved acts within a small, tight-knit community, then you're going to receive that retaliation, as you should. It's completely justified. I don't think there's anything wrong in a tight-knit community sticking together. And this is not just merely about retaliatory violence. It's about retaliation as it pertains to continuing to stay within a tight-knit community, continuing to show that level of altruism, camaraderie. That's a lot of things that's missing in just the world in general, is that level of camaraderie, that level of altruism, that level of humanity that's sorely lacking. Criminals are opportunistic, right? If most people would agree, criminals are opportunistic. And not a lot of times in these riots, these are criminals who took an opportunity. They saw that people were outraged. They saw, okay, this is an opportunity for me to loot, to riot. And I'm not saying that everybody in the protest was involved in that. And a lot of times I've saw videos of people being placed there to mire or mar the reputation of a peaceful protest. So I've seen people be planted there to incite violence, to mar the reputation, to make it irreputable for the individuals that are peacefully protesting. So I've seen the fanaticism. I've seen the violence being incited by people who are simply trying to have a peaceful protest. Well, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. As long as it doesn't impede on anyone's business, as long as it doesn't break any laws, it's fine. You know, it's fine. But again, what this song is trying to iterate to us is that it's not okay to loot, to pillage, to rob small businesses. And if you try those things in a tight-knit community, his sentiment is that you are going to be met with retaliation. You won't make it down the road, as the lyric says, quoting. So I hope you see that this song is not really that controversial at all. And for the song itself, it's not really my thing. It's country. I think it's fine. It's got a decent song structure, decent composition, decent musicality. Has a nice little acoustic guitar riff, nice little lead licks that I like. But overall, it's not really something that I would probably listen to on a regular basis. It's not something that I would necessarily say has repeatability. It's a political song, obviously, but I think it does a good job, and not really focusing on. And I say political. To me, it's not really political. To me, actually, if I would say, it's really a humanistic issue, right? And yeah, I don't want to continue on this little tangent that I'm on, or make this too extensive. But I will say, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you enjoyed my comments. If you disagree, please let me know respectfully in the comments if you disagree. And, if you like the video, man, I appreciate it, man. Let's see if I remember my tagline at the end. Visionaries, I salute to you, man. Remember, always stay blessed, never stress. Remember, always do your very best. Live, love, love life, because why? Because life is beautiful. That's why. And I'm going to catch you all on the flip side, man. Make sure you're part of that Visionary Scream this Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come be there. I'll be there. I hope you will as well. Thank you all for attending my video, man. I appreciate you. Much love to everybody. Thank you for the continuous support. I'm going to be doing films. That's going to be a separate channel, actually. It's going to be called the J-Rod's Visionary Film Room. And, man, I hope you guys please continue to support me as I continue to evolve as a human being. I thank you all for being a part of this journey, man. Visionary salute, man, as always. Much love. I'm out. Whew. Deuces. Wow.